with today's pocket coaching. Now, the sun is shining today in Somerset and it's so gorgeous. It makes a big difference. But how do you really motivate yourself? How do you really pull the best out of yourself in any weather, in any time? I read this story yesterday in one of the Sunday supplements about this writer who everyone is raving about, and she is tipped to win this year's Women's Prize for Fiction. And her book, it's called Trespasses, is this word of mouth hit, like this underground phenomenon. But here's the interesting thing. She's 55. She's got this newfound acclaim. She was a chef for many years and her restaurant went under. And she had stage 4 cancer. So not easy. But here's the really interesting thing. After surgery, after acknowledging, I suppose, to herself that she had cancer, here's what happened. I'm just going to read this to you. This is what she said. Back home, I sat in an armchair. I had cancer. I might not have a long life. I had to get out of that armchair. I decided to write a novel. 1,000 words a day. But since I was wounded and terrified, I would forgive myself for flaking occasionally. I would write forward, never look back. 11 weeks later, I had 64,000 words of what could charitably be called a novel. Isn't that interesting? And that novel went on to become what you can buy today, what is tipped to be this prize-winning book called Trespasses. And that really struck me. Does it strike you too? That at some point, in some way, you've got to make it matter what you do. You've got to make it matter. Otherwise, if there's not a big enough reason, not a big enough why, if you like, then time can pass. Weeks become months and months become years. So you might not be in her situation, in Louise's situation, where you have that wake-up call and you realize that you may not have a long life. But actually, none of us know how long we have. So maybe you could give yourself your own wake-up call without having to have an external wake-up call. And that wake-up call is to look at what's really important for you and realize that you may not have long because you don't know. So what's really important? What's really important to you? And I know that we can all get busy with the day-to-day detail. And we have to be careful about that because weeks can become months and months can become years. And if we're not careful, we get completely derailed with the detail. So maybe you could do a deal with yourself where you acknowledge what is really important. And even though you have calls on your time and energy and you have the details to take care of, maybe you could give yourself an hour a day. It's a gift that you put aside to allocate to that bigger picture, to truly what's most important. So I hope that helps, because I know when I read those words, it felt like a wake-up call, a clarion call for all of us, to be honest, for all of us. So let me know what lands for you. Most importantly, get clear on what's most important. If you were in that woman's situation, God forbid you won't be, but if you were and you had that absolute clarity that you might not live a long life, what would you do? What would be the things that you would get on with? Because that's what to get on with now. Sending you lots of love from sunny Somerset, and so looking forward to hearing what your takeaway from this is. All the best for now. Bye.